The PSP is one of my favorite handheld consoles. I love this thing to death. Ever since I got it on Christmas in 2007, I've loved this little handheld console for a long time. Now, let's just jump into this. There are so many good games on this PSP, such as games that I really enjoyed, like The Sims 2 Castaway, Parasite Eve, Third Birthday, and The Sims 2 on the PSP. Some of my other favorites are MX vs. ATV on the Edge, which is MX Unleashed, but a port of it, and it's a really fun game to play. There is so much portability with the PlayStation 2 games that you could play on the PSP. That's what I love so much about this console is I'm able to take some of my favorite PS2 games on the go with me wherever I am, and today I still play this little console and I love it. One of my favorite franchises on the PSP they had was the SOCOM games. Now, the SOCOM games are really fun to play, including a lot of their sequels on the PSP. I remember having a demo of SOCOM 3, and I would just play the shit out of that multiple times. The SOCOM games were really fun to play on the PSP, and they're one of my favorite shooters. And I think one of the games that really got me hooked into playing the PSP was MotorStorm Arctic Edge. Now, this was made after Pacific Rift, and weirdly enough, this was actually a PS2 and a PSP port only for those two consoles exclusively. It never came to the PS3. But this game still held its MotorStorm DNA, and I absolutely loved the shit out of that game. That game was so fun to play. I had so many memories playing that game that was one of my favorites. Now, another one of my favorite games I always played on the PSP probably had to be Little Big Planet. Now, Little Big Planet was a really good game on the PS3, but for them to small it down onto the PSP and make it really good is pretty insane because at the time, most of the time they did try to port over PS3 games and water them down on the PSP. Like a couple like Need for Speed Shift, for example. Now, Need for Speed Shift on the PSP it's good. It's a pretty good racing game, but it's not like the PS3 version. But the problem is that whenever they bring in PS3 versions, of course they're going to downgrade them and they're not going to look the same. The thing is about the PSP is that it's really great at doing what it does best. Porting PS2 games and bringing portable PS2 games in your hands. That's what I love so much about this little console. And I still have mine today, and I love the hell out of it. More than the Vita, to be honest. Because I remember getting the Vita, and yes, I played the Vita. I did enjoy Uncharted Golden Abyss on the Vita, but I just never played it as much as I did with the PSP. Now, everything else on my PSP is in really good condition, except for one thing, and that's the UMD disc tray. And I'll show you why. Okay, so the thing about my PSP is that within the disc tray UMD drive, as you can kind of see, if we flip it over like this, you can see that this is pretty much not shutting right. See, this is actually supposed to be like this. See? That little clip thing. And even when I do try to get it to fix, it just pops out. The handheld itself has stayed in pretty good condition. Besides that, that's the only problem with my PSP is this little disc tray. Now, when I was putting in MotorStorm a while ago, I had a little trouble putting it in. And yes, it's really cracked, and that's how it came when I got it used. But yeah, it's a really weird process. Like, so let me take it out, and then let's try to put it back in. So as you can see, it's like, it kind of doesn't sit that well. See, it's not sitting well. So what you have to do is, and of course, yeah, I'm sorry, the disc is kind of messed up. You have to Of course, close it in a certain way. So right here, we got it to close. And I'll show you it with another disc. So here we got another disc, Most Wanted. So let me show you how this kind of weirdly is. So as you can see, the tray itself, it's a little messed up and dinged up. So when you put in a disc, sometimes it doesn't sit well. And that's because of how messed up the thing is itself. So sometimes you have to really fiddle with it. There we go. Nope. There we go. Got it shut. See, that's the weird thing about this PSP. That's the only problem I have with it. And so there's nothing really I can do to fix that. But other than that, it plays any of the games correctly and right. It's just, this is really messed up. So beyond that weird quirk, one of the things the PSP can also do is play movies and play music. And if you had a PS3, what you could do is connect your USB to the PSP, and say you wanted to download some music on your PS3, well, you can download that to your PSP and take it on the go. Or you could either get the Music Unlimited or the Sense Me channel or whatever else it had on there. But back then, like, downloading music was a big thing, but these days we have Spotify and Pandora, so there's no need to do that anymore. And you could buy movies on the PSP, which they don't make anymore. I was never really a movie guy on the PSP, but you could take your movies on the go if you... So anyway, I think that concludes today's video. It was a pretty interesting topic. I love the PSP more than the Vita. I know there's still some games out for the Vita, but the PSP was always my favorite. But anyway, if you're new around here, subscribe, hit the like button. Hope you guys liked today's video. It was a pretty interesting topic. So anyway, I'll see you guys. Peace.